Good morning. It's Monday, and I have Ann Harper here from TAPA and also Bill Pickney. Is that how I say your last name?
Pickney.
Pickney from TAPA. And we're here talking about the show that opens this Friday called Moonglow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Ann is the director and also, coincidentally, the president of TAPA at the time.
Yes, I am.
You have a fancy title. Can you tell us a little bit about Moonglow and what drew you to the script?
It is a beautiful story about these two people who have Alzheimer's. And when I read the script, I just was really touched by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to have this, and I could see it being performed at TAPA. The more I read it, the more I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about these two people. There's some funny parts in it. And I really like that it tells the story. Well, these people have Alzheimer's, but it tells the story of Alzheimer's from the perspective of the people who have it,
Sure.
their adult children,
Mm-hmm.
and their caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to know a little bit about it. And so many of us have been touched by Alzheimer's or dementia, memory loss issues that...
Maybe not personally, but like of your
Maybe
own self, but in your family or relatives or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's done
Did
very
you know
well.
it's based on a true story? The lady that wrote it it's based on her experiences with her mom.
Is it?
Yeah.
I knew she dedicated it to her mom, but I didn't know a lot about the background.
Yeah, so it has some real some of these things are real things that happened in the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because after I chose the show and it was picked to be as part of the lineup this year, my brother-in-law had some strokes in June,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't affect his movement, but they affected his memory. So he's now in a memory care facility.
Yeah.
And so I've used some of that as inspiration for the set and for how I'm working with my actors. So it made it real for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've got some more experience with that now too, on a personal level.
And the set is it's set at an assisted care facility.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And there are, can we talk a little bit about the Alzheimer's episodes and how that happens? Because the characters, the older characters, have Alzheimer's episodes, and when they
go into their dementia,
when they transition, into that,
their younger selves come out,
which are played by two people. And I'm not going to say how it happens because I think everybody needs to go see it, but I really love how it was done. It's great.
Yeah. It's worked out really well, and the actors are just doing a great job with that. They're bringing an authenticity to it, and it's been awesome to watch it happen.
Yeah, it's a great show. I wrote the article that you'll see in the paper this week. I wrote it.
Because she's my producer, but
yes,
she doesn't
I am
want me
producing
to tell you that.
I wrote that it's a love story, a comedy, and a drama all wrapped up into one.
Absolutely.
Because it is.
It is.
And there are, like you said, there are touching moments, but then, 5 lines later, there's a funny moment. And Sue and Bill are doing such a great job. They are so funny. Sue Wilson plays Maxine, who the story centers around.
Right.
Who's very angry and bitter about moving to a care facility.
And angry and bitter about love in general.
Yeah. But man, there's some funny parts.
There are.
Yeah.
Bill has some of the funny lines,
Yep.
but I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to come to the show.
Well,
to see
I
that.
think they wouldn't make sense in context, out of context. Bill, can we talk a little bit about your experience? And you have a really interesting background. Can you tell us about your background?
Well, I've always been involved in music, and when I was a child, a teenager, I would, if they had a play in my city, I would go audition for it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't always get a part, but I was always in the background. And we put on Oklahoma in Rapid City, South Dakota is where I'm from.
Uh-huh.
And they put on Oklahoma, and Mary Alonzo was a guest star. When I was over in Germany, I was with the USO troop, and we traveled around different concerns, or barracks. And Mary Alonzo was a guest star. I mean, Vic Damone, our guest star over there. So I've sang with both of them. And
That's amazing.
And
That's so cool.
We're right here in the same room
I
with
know.
somebody who's been
Yes.
with them. I know.
my first time that I sang, I was 3 years old. a guy carried me across the church right across the street from our house on his shoulders because I had new shoes on and it hurt my feet. And I sang Jesus Love Me for the first time.
Yeah. And how has it been being back on stage? I mean, I guess you don't really have, other than being in the USO.
Right.
It's probably been a while since you've performed. How's it been on stage?
Well, I was a teenager. They powdered my hair because I played the part of an old man in a church play that we put on one time. So otherwise than that, that's all they...
Yeah.
So when Anne asked me if I would like to try out for this play, I was a little skeptical at first, but after getting into it, I think it was meant for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're amazing. I love that people are skeptical about being in plays, and I'm going to mention auditions that are going to be coming up here soon, but and then you get there and it's just, don't you feel like you're all a big family?
Yeah.
Yeah, you all become, and then,
right.
And here's the thing, you need to know at the end of this, when it's all over, you're going to feel like there's a part of your life missing. Because there really is, because you've spent so much time with these people putting together this
Sue
product.
And I have spent so much time working our lines together that I feel like she's my family.
Yeah, for sure. Were you going to say something? Or did he cover it? You started to interrupt him and then he kept talking.
Oh, no? I was going to say something about something he said, and I don't remember what it is.
Oh.
Memory issues.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other cast, because there's some new people, and I do kind of want you to tell the story about how Kyle got involved, because I think that's funny.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah,
Right.
because here's the thing. He's so perfect for that role.
Yes, he
and
is.
it's just one of those things, like...
It just fell into place.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, you were getting a little nervous, but it worked out so well.
Yeah. So we got our cast. We did auditions, and Sue Wilson plays Maxine, and Bill Pickney is Joe.
And Sue was in, she was the crotchety old neighbor in To Kill a Mockingbird, and she is fabulous in Moonglow.
Right.
Fabulous.
And Ricky Reed.
Who was also in Mockingbird.
Right. And
as
she
Jean
directed.
Louise.
Yeah, Money Matters.
Yep.
So Ricky is Benita, who's the caregiver. And
Carly Persons, who
Thank
was
you.
also Yep, she was also in Mockingbird.
and Money Matters. We keep busy with the theater, I guess.
Yes.
She plays the girl. And so we had and Gary Barclay, who is new to our area, was a little nervous about auditioning, but he came to auditions, and he plays Greg, Joe's son.
And now he knows people in town.
He does.
It's a great way to meet people. Even if you don't want to be on stage, you can do other stuff.
And he has really blossomed as an actor. So we needed a sailor. So we were rehearsing all over town and sending out feelers and asking people to be the sailor.
And some people bit. There were a couple people who said, yeah, I'll do it. And then they backed out.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so my friend Sandra Coops-Raybeck, who's been in quite a few shows and been part of TAPA for a long time, was on the search for a sailor for me. And she had headed out because there were some young men that were in
And that's, you
squirtips.
need a younger
younger
man.
guy.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she went to go see them, and we were having a rehearsal, and she came in with this young man. And we're like, okay, where'd he come from? Well, as she came back to the theater with some names and numbers for me, there was a young man walking across the street going back to Les Schwab. If you've been to the barn, you know it's right across the street from Les Schwab, south end of Tillamook. And he had come over to see when the next show was so he could bring his lovely lady. And Sandra said, well, how would you like to be in the
next show
for your lovely lady? And so she pulled him into the theater, literally drug him in off the street, and I handed him a script. And 2 days later, he called and said he'd be in the show.
And he's great.
He's awesome.
Yeah. That would be Kyle Kello.
Kyle Kello, yeah.
Of Kello Construction, because he wears his shirts to rehearsals.
He does, and we can,
we'll plug him. You also didn't mention Laura Ressler.
Oh, Laura, and I was thinking about Laura, and then I got to Carly. And Laura Ressler, who has been a part of TAPA for many years, and then had moved away and came back, and she was the stage manager for Sweethearts, and she auditioned, and if you just looked at her and Sue, they could be family. She plays Sue's, Maxine's daughter, Diane, in the play, and she's wonderful. She's very good.
If you don't know who Laura Ressler is, this will follow her for the rest of her life. If you saw, What a Fine Monster You Are? She was the chick that sat under the table, and I think she ate like 6 sandwiches every single show. And you could see, the audience could see her doing that. I mean, she was literally in the center of the stage eating under a table. She was hiding, and she had a tray of sandwiches, and she sat and ate the tray of sandwiches every single show.
That's what she's famous for.
Yeah, I know. And I told her that at a rehearsal. I said, no, that's going to follow you for the rest of your life. She's like, that's okay.
Yeah, people remember me from 6 dance lessons. And
oh, yeah.
That's what they remember me for. Yep. They remember her
Which,
for that.
by the way, if you go pick up the Visit Tillamook Coast magazine, Anne and Rob Buckingham are in there. Yes, Yay. From 6 dance lessons. So we're talking about Moonglow, which is TAPA's newest play. It opens this Friday. There are shows Friday and Saturday at 7, Sunday at 2 for this weekend. Next weekend is just Friday and Saturday because it's Mother's Day weekend. Right. And then the following weekend, which is the 18th and 19th,
and 20th.
Yep, 18th, 19th, and 20th are the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get tickets at Diamond Art Jewelers, 842-7940, or go visit them downtown. You can also get tickets at the door, but you always take the chance of selling out and not getting a seat, although we do try to accommodate as much as we can. Right. Usually. Yeah. How about your crew? Because it's not just the people on stage. Oh, you got a good crew, right?
I do. I have a great crew. Mm-hmm. We are really setting a nice mood and tone. John Rogan is doing lights for us, and he's done an incredible job. Morgan Queen is running the sound. Mm-hmm. And
there's lots of sound.
Lots of sound, and the music is all from the 30s and 40s, so... get out there and dance to it.
I should say lots of sound means there's lots of music.
Lots of music.
Because part of the connection between Maxine and Joe, which they don't know each other, they meet at the care facility and get to know each other, is that they both danced.
Right.
And then their younger selves also dance.
Right. And they from the Greystone Theater or Greystone Ballroom. And Moonglow, to be honest, I never had heard of Moonglow, and I've heard it a lot now, but it's a song. You want to sing the first line for us, Joe?
Bill? It must have been Moonglow way up in the blue.
He's probably going to sing that for the rest of his life. He'll know it. It's drilled into your brain.
I surprised him with that.
That's okay.
I knew
that was
song,
beautiful.
Though, because I know the old tunes.
Okay. Oh, rest of my crew. Yeah. Cynthia Toole is our stage manager and really has everything in place backstage. And Rebecca Doherty is doing hair and makeup and having a great time with that. Gets Laura's hair big and
nice
dresses up Carly to the like she's coming right out of the 40s and they're just so cute.
Yeah, it's a cute show. It's a very sweet, touching, heartwarming. Like you said, there's touching moments, there's funny moments, and there's a love story.
And I think too that it will open up conversations between families and talking about issues related to getting older. So I think we have that benefit too.
I also want to give a big shout out to Mark Stewart and Pam Zielinski of Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, because they are the sponsors of the show. So they allow us to cover the royalties and all those things. So big shout out to them. And Moonglow, the title, go ahead.
I forgot.
What?
Lori Welch is new to TAPA. She's my set builder and has done an incredible job. Yeah. And Diane Kreider has been doing her magic with paint.
Yep.
And every time these two women show up, something changes on the stage, and it's just you haven't seen it lately, have you, Lisa?
No. Well, you sent me a picture.
Well, but it's different since then.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's much different.
Diane is so incredible, and I know she's so humble about it too. She just thinks, you're always critical of your own work, I guess, but she's always like, I don't know, it's just not that, and it's like a masterpiece.
Oh, it always is.
If you went and saw Sweetheart, she painted the New York City skyline along the back wall. She's made the stage into a ski resort. I
have a shout out too
to
Scott Casey, who helped me with some sound things, and he and Bill came and helped paint the set too.
Oh, nice.
Scott and I worked together a couple of different days for some of the background things that you might hear in the show. Yeah. So thanks, Scott.
There's a lot of work and love and effort that go into putting on a show, and it shows. She keeps getting, like, her face keeps lighting up and she keeps pointing at me because she keeps remembering things to say.
Oh, I do, because we're partnering with Art Accelerated.
Oh, sure.
And Art Accelerated is a local gallery.
Yeah.
It's got local artists in it. 1906 3rd Street.
Is it in the spot where Bonnie's Beads used to be, across from the Elks?
Right next to, I think, either in there or next to it.
Yeah. Right behind where the old pancake.
It's right
I'm saying these
it's
things
right
that
next
people
to the
might not
music
know where they
store.
are. Oh, yeah, right next to the music store.
Yeah,
Over by
behind Lake
Safeway.
Wilbegon, for those of you who've been here a long time, or it was
I
part
know,
of that.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
the old pancake house, I'm like, well, that's been closed down for 2 years. If someone's new to town, they're not going to know where that is.
I know.
Across from the Elks, though. That's
Across from the Elks,
the
right.
east side of the Elks.
But we're partnering with them. We put artwork up in the lobby, and there's also a piece on stage. It's downstage, right? Those pieces will be for sale.
Oh, cool.
And they'll be list, but you can look, and some nights the artists will be there, so you can meet and greet with the artists. And
nice.
I've even got a couple of works hanging up on the walls. So those are for sale, and if people are interested, talk to me during intermission or after the show.
Will there be price tags on the?
There will.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a list.
Oh, nice.
In the lobby, so you'll know how much things are, and cash or check only.
Yeah, well,
Same
and
as-
that's how I was gonna say. That's how TAPA is anyway. They don't take credit cards anyway. So.
Oh, but if they want a credit card, want to pay with credit card, they'd have to go to Art Accelerated when it's open.
I see.
They have the opportunity to do the
gotcha.
option.
Yeah,
for
but the
that.
barn itself is only cash or check.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I just wanted to let people know the Art Accelerated it's kind of
Yeah, that's kind of
exciting.
fun.
Yeah.
Different. And then, did you say that you were gonna switch out some of the art throughout the show?
We
Maybe,
might,
or if you sell some,
or if
then you
something
bring
sells,
some new...
we'll definitely put new art out. Yeah, if somebody's here from out of town or needs to take the piece that night, they can take it because Art Accelerated changes their art monthly. It's like they say also blink if you'll miss it.
Yeah, right.
So you have to go in often to see the art, and we love to have people stop by the gallery and visit.
Yeah.
And just look at the art. You can always come in. You don't have to buy anything. You can just look.
Yeah. Moonglow opens on Friday. I can't say it enough, and I keep telling people, go see it because it's a really good one. The title comes from the song Moonglow,
Right.
which you have multiple versions of playing throughout the show, right?
I do.
Because that's another connection where the two older folks connect over that song somehow.
They do. Their younger selves, obviously, were married to different people.
Right.
And had their love stories. That was their song. So
Each of the separate...
Maxine and Bob.
Yeah.
And Joe and Teresa. That was their song.
Gotcha.
And so when the characters are in dementia and, well, they kind of think that the other was their spouse.
Yeah.
And they fade
Moonglow
back
was
into it.
Yeah.
was their song.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's dancing and
Yes.
Yes. It's lovely.
It's very sweet. I have to take a quick break. Well, it's April 30th, so today's the last day. But April is Ford Truck Month, and now is the time to visit Tillamook Motor Company. The Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for over 40 years, is what you're looking for. It'll get the job done. You're going to find some great deals at Tillamook Motors. Whether it's the 2018 Super Duty or the F-150, they've got your truck. Go further with Ford. Find your ride at Tillamook Motors on the friendly corner of 5th and Main and 7th and Main in downtown Tillamook. Tillamook Motor Company, a better place to do business. We're talking with Bill and Ann from TAPA's latest show, Moonglow. Ann is the director. And one thing I didn't ask Bill when we were talking, Bill, how old are you?
I'm 89 years old.
I think you're 89 years young, because you are a whippersnapper, right? He
is.
He does not act his
He's
age.
awesome.
Yeah.
I saw he was out one night. I was at the Elks. They have a Wednesday night. You can go in and listen to the
Jam
music.
session.
Kind of a jam session. They let me get up and sing. I love it. And here was this guy out there dancing. And I went, oh, he'd be a really good Joe.
Oh, this was before the show, before you had
this
auditions?
was before before we did
Auditions.
Tapped me on the
auditions.
shoulder and said, how would you like to audition for my show?
Yeah. And he showed up.
Great.
In fact, he called me and said, when are those auditions again? He found my number in the book, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So we got new actors, which is really
Yeah,
exciting.
it's fun.
Kyle and Bill.
Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned before, I if you were listening, I said, you don't have to be on stage to be involved. TAPA always needs volunteers. Small parts. You can be a ticket taker for 45 minutes at a show. That's all. It's the only commitment. You can work concessions, which is a little bit longer. I'd say it's like maybe an hour and a half, because you have to get through intermission. You have to be there 45 minutes in advance, and then you have to get through intermission.
Right.
So about an hour and a half. you can do lights, you can do sound, backstage, hair and makeup, costumes, set building. I'm trying to think, what are some other painting?
And there's always lots of little things to do. I'm running ragged just trying to get everything done. If I had an assistant, it would be so helpful to have somebody who would, like last night, I could have used somebody to just run and get batteries for me.
Oh, sure.
I know that sounds funny, but
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you can do.
And this sounds kind of silly, but every show needs someone to be a prompter. I mean, if you want to, if you're available, go ahead.
Right. Oh, no. And I had to ask a couple of different people, and they came in and do that. Mary, who's Gary's wife, came in, and Jackie Hamblin, who kind of wanted to do something with theater, but wasn't quite comfortable. She came in and helped prompt during rehearsals. And my friend Diane Kyle helped us when we were just setting the lights.
Oh, yeah.
So I asked her to come in and just stand on stage so we could get the lights set correctly.
Yeah.
So it isn't just during performances that we need people to help.
Right.
So thank you to my friends
absolutely.
who came in to help.
Now they're famous. They were on the radio.
They are.
Yes.
So the next show, do you know anything about God of Carnage?
I've a little bit that it's two couples that get together to talk about problems that their children are having together. I hear it's actually a pretty funny show. The title would sound like it's not.
Right, yeah, it sounds
title's
intense.
a little dark.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I haven't read it.
I think it's a comedy.
Yeah.
And there's only 2-3 characters?
I think 4. Two
Four?
couples.
And then is there a therapist?
I don't know.
5? I don't know either. I don't have I'm not, oh wait, here, see all characters. I Googled it to see what came up.
When I talked to Rob about it, he said that it...
Nope, just two. Yeah, just two couples.
But the couples don't necessarily have to be the younger couples that you'd think of having school-age children.
Sure.
Because there are so many people now, older couples that have children or grandparents. It's just someone who's raising a child together.
Yeah. So it relates an evening of the lives of 2 couples who are residents of a Brooklyn neighborhood who meet to discuss a playground incident. One son hit another son in the face with a stick, resulting in 2 broken teeth. The 4 of them agree to discuss the incident civilly, but as the night wears on and drinks are imbibed, of course, the polite veneer breaks down. The couples initially spar against each other, but the men gang up on the women and the spouses switch sides as the fighting continues. It sounds pretty funny.
It does sound funny.
So Rob Buckingham will be the director of that, and those auditions, I don't know the times yet or where, but they'll be June 2nd and 3rd, so just keep an eye on the paper or on Tillamook's website, TAPA's website, tillamooktheater.com, which hopefully we'll have a new one here soon.
Yay.
It's exciting. I know. Moonglow opens this weekend. I kind of, to sum it up in a sentence, say it follows Maxine, who is an Alzheimer's victim, who is transitioning her life into a care facility, and it's kind of what that entails, both with her family and then also her life at the care facility. Right. Love story, comedy, drama, all in one. It happens.
It's wonderful.
So the show, it's this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday and Saturday shows are at 7. Sunday shows are at 2. Next weekend, the 11th and 12th, which is just Friday and Saturday, we are not having a show on Mother's Day. And then the 18th, 19th, and 20th, which is the 3rd weekend of May, Friday, Saturday at 7, Sunday at 2. You can get tickets at Diamond Art Jewelers, 842-7940, or go visit them. I think their address is 308 Main. So it's, everybody knows where Diamond Art Jewelers is, right? It's across from the Coliseum Theater. Yeah. Not the Barn Theater, the Coliseum Movie Theater.
Right.
Let's clarify that. Let's see. Did we talk about... Give a shout out to Berkshire Hathaway, Mark Stewart. Want to make sure we cover everything we wrote down. And Pam Zielinski. Mark Stewart happens to be Diane Kreider's significant other.
Yes.
Who is our lovely painter.
Yes.
She does such a good job.
She does.
I feel like I could spend a whole half an hour talking about her.
And we just paint over her work.
I know.
She's good with that.
I know.
Doesn't matter.
Because she likes it because then she gets a blank slate to do whatever the next show needs. Yeah. And
and she's really creative.
Super creative.
Yeah. And Lori was really creative with building this set. She came up with some ideas, and I think it's worked. And I just love that the people that are the crews, I have this vision, I have this idea, what I want. And they just say, whatever it is you want. And they make it happen. And it's happened. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
And, John and I've worked closely together with the lights. And if I want a sound cue, Morgan's like, okay. It's like, it just all works.
It's come together very nicely, for sure.
It has. And my actors are wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And you know what? Something I want to make sure I mention. There is nothing, and I say it every single time. We've had Nestucca kids in here when the TAPA folks come in. I always talk about there's nothing like seeing live theater. It is not like going to the movie theater and you're watching a screen and it's like watching a big TV essentially. But when you're sitting and watching people on stage that are 30 feet away from you, 20 feet away from you.
10 feet
if you're in the front row.
You're right there.
Not even 5 feet if they're at the front of the stage.
Yep.
There's just this energy that's exchanged. No two shows will ever be alike. I mean, it will never run exactly the same for two shows.
No, this would be a show as an audience member that I'd go see more than once. I would see it first weekend, and then I'd say, I want to go see that one again.
Yeah. Or take your friends, like, I saw the show, and, you have to come see it. Let's go together.
Yep. Just remember to silence your cell phones. Believe it or not, we hear everything that happens in the audience.
And no talking, please.
I have talked to friends, and they said that they were going to see the first one, and I said, well, you really should see the last one. She said, well, I can see it twice.
Yes,
that's
you could.
Right.
And that's somebody, I don't remember who it is, but somebody does that where they go watch the first one or the first weekend and then they'll go see it the last weekend to kind of see how the show is morphed and changed a little bit over. And if you're attuned to that, then it's easy to kind of see where those things are.
And I think the shows get better as like the last couple of rehearsals, I've been the only one in the audience.
Yeah.
I've heard all the jokes.
Right.
I know what's going to happen next. So I don't always respond. So when we start to get audiences in and the audience is part of that theater. It's not just what's going on stage. They hear every sigh, every laugh, every chuckle, every gasp. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun for the actors. It will be once you get an audience in, because I think you have preview tomorrow, right?
We do.
So that'll be a fun experience.
But that's not for the public.
No. That's not open to the public. That's a
private event.
Yes, thank you. Private event.
By invitation only.
But it does change the way you have to be on stage a little bit because you have to pause for those laughs because if you keep talking while they're laughing, they're not going to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and every audience is different.
Yep. Yeah.
And the vibes from and it's funny. I used to say that Sunday audiences were quiet, but the last 3 shows, the Sunday audiences have almost been the most, the most
lively.
Animated. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So people are having fun at 2:00 on a Sunday afternoon, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Go see Moonglow. I'll give you the dates and times here in a minute. Hey, thanks again for coming in this morning. It was a lovely conversation. Tomorrow we'll have Mr. Bill Bartline here, County Commissioner. Don't forget senior meals, 11:30 at St. Mary's by the Sea in Rockaway Beach every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also noon every weekday at the Kiawanda Community Center in Pacific City, as well as the Tillamook Senior Center at 4th and Stillwell. Cost is $3 for seniors and $6.75 for everyone else. Do you go to that, Bill, in Rockaway?
I do.
So go. Will you be there today?
Today.
Okay, well then go, and then if people go, they can talk to Bill about his experience.
I already have a flyer in the...
Oh, perfect. Monday Musical has their final cultural event series tonight at 7 p.m. Chase Padgett will be at Tillamook High School performing his show 6 Guitars. It is 1 man, 6 characters, 6 styles with 6 different kinds of comedy. Tickets are available at mondaymusicalclub.com or at the Chamber. Kids 18 and under get in free. I know that tickets are available online pre-sale today. I think they close at 5, so make sure you get tickets before 5. TAPA's latest show, as we talked about today, opens this weekend at the Barn Theater over by Les Schwab. The play follows an older woman with Alzheimer's who is bitter about transitioning her life into a care facility and all the experiences around that. Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 2. Tickets are $15, which, by the way, is a stellar deal for a lovely evening of performance and entertainment.
I think so, too.
Yep. Tickets are $15 at Diamond Art Jewelers, 842-7940, or at the door. And happy birthday to Karen Downs and Tracy Whithoff. Thanks. What?
Karen Dowd's a member of TAPA.
She is, and was also in Mockingbird. That was a big cast. Who wasn't in that? I wasn't. I wasn't either. Thanks again, Bill and Ann, for coming in this morning.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us, Lisa.
And thank you, Tillamook, for listening.